This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news tonight, after months of negotiations and picketing, the Sarasota County School District and the Teachers Union have reached an agreement regarding contracts. Teachers will get their raise based on performance evaluations. Highly effective teachers will receive a 4.25% pay raise. Effective teachers will receive 3.25% raise, and non-instructional employees will be given an across-the-board raise of 3.75%. We spoke with Superintendent Todd Bowden on what drove this new pay plan.
There was a change in state law that required that teachers hired after a certain date be compensated under a performance pay plan. One of the things that caused us to take a little extra time in negotiation was the fact we were really negotiating with two different groups of teachers, those that we called grandfathered teachers and those that we called performance pay teachers. And ultimately in this deal, what excites me the most is we treat all teachers the same.
The Sarasota County School Board is expected to vote on that new deal March 6th. Should the new agreement be adopted, salary adjustments will take effect immediately, and employees can expect to receive retroactive pay in the March 15th pay period. Sarasota County government also has a new distinction to be proud of. The county named one of the best workplaces for commuters for offering exceptional employee-provided commuter benefits. ABC7's Rick Adams explains.
Well, this national recognition has Sarasota County officials here very proud. They say this is a big accomplishment, especially with all the traffic around here. For the second year in a row, Sarasota County has been named one of the best workplaces for commuters in the country. Gary Shells, an employee of the county, is just one small example of why Sarasota County has received this distinction.
We are able to carpool. My wife works here. We carpool together sometimes when our schedules allow for that. So yeah, they make it pretty easy to do that.
In addition to carpooling, Sarasota County offers many different commuter benefit options for their employees, which includes free SCAT bus rides, free charging stations for electric cars, bicycle repair stations throughout the county, and emergency ride-home programs.
Sarasota County is cutting edge in a lot of ways, especially as it pertains to the green movement. So for a number of years, we've been ahead of the curve, and that very much ties into these benefits that we offer to our employees and to the community.
Lee tells us that 14% of their employees don't drive alone to work, which is a big help when it comes to reducing traffic problems in the area.
As we know, Sarasota County is getting more congested, especially this time of year. So these kinds of benefits offer alternatives for our employees that don't want to get stuck in traffic to and from work.
And Sarasota County officials tell us they will keep expanding what they do with the hopes of receiving this national recognition for many years to come. Reporting from downtown Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you, Rick. The 4th annual Bradenton Area River Regatta will feature two types of racing on the water: Formula 2 power boats and hydrocross jet ski racing. Under some of those race helmets are two local siblings who might surprise you. Hayden and Taylor Skillett from Port Charlotte will be hitting speeds up to 68 miles per hour. At the young ages of 13 and 12, the duo started water racing within the last 3 years. Hayden came in 3rd and 2nd the last 2 years in Bradenton, and younger sister Taylor will be competing for her first time in the race on Saturday.
Yeah, people were surprised. Even at my school, everybody's like, "You're a girl, you shouldn't be racing." And I'm like, I'm a girl. I just like to race. I like to have fun.
You get extra competitive when she's on the water with you?
No.
And why is that?
Teammate.
She's your teammate? Mm-hmm. But do you still want to beat her?
Yeah, I beat her every time.
Well, you can see Hayden and Taylor race tomorrow from 12:30 to 2 p.m. And just a reminder for those taking public transportation this weekend, Manatee County Area Transit announcing changes to Saturday routes as a result of that regatta. The annual event will impact MCAT routes 1, 13, and 201. Those routes are also known as the North County Connection. There will also be interrupted service on 8th Avenue West in Palmetto all day on Saturday. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan to see how the weather will be for that regatta. Bob?
It's looking pretty good, actually, Jacqueline, right now. Sunday, a little different story in the afternoon, but Saturday, okay. Temperatures will still be rather mild, despite the fact that this front is pretty much washed out now as it made its way down through our area. 62 degrees right now. It's nice out there. It was beautiful out at Lakewood Ranch tonight for Music on Main, and the dew point temperature at 59 and the humidity at 90%. Now, these two numbers getting close to one another usually indicates we could see some fog, but I think the winds will be just strong enough to inhibit any widespread fog, but we could see some patchy fog. 3024 on the barometer. You can see that front. There's not much to it. In fact, it's pretty much parallel now with the upper level winds, so we're not going to see a big shift in temperatures at all. On Saturday, high temperatures will be in the low 70s to mid 70s up and down the coast, and we do have an area of disturbed weather which will work its way around the trough of the jet stream and kind of develop into a surface low over the northern Gulf of Mexico on Sunday, and that changes things up a little bit for Super Bowl Sunday. We'll have the details on our forecast and let you know what's headed for the work week coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
Thank you so much, Bob. One person has been hospitalized after an RV caught fire in Sarasota. Take a look as firefighters work to put out the remaining flames on that RV. The Sarasota Police Department responding to assist at the scene at US 301 near 10th Street. Police say a witness who saw that fire helped the person inside the RV get out. That person, who has not yet been identified, transported to Sarasota Memorial Hospital for intoxication and possible smoke inhalation. The owner of the motorhome is unknown at the time. Police were unable to locate any tag or VIN number. Despite widespread traffic jams that clogged Florida's highways right before Hurricane Irma hit, state officials do not plan to authorize one-way traffic moving forward. Governor Rick Scott announcing a series of recommendations aimed at helping the state deal with the congestion and gas shortages that posed major problems to those trying to get out of the way of the powerful storm. State officials considered whether to use one-way traffic on highways, but Florida will instead allow more people to drive on the shoulders of roads. The state is also moving ahead with plans to widen key roads, and then they will look at identifying critical gas stations. And in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, Florida lawmakers are supporting a plan to send law enforcement help to combat crime in Puerto Rico. U.S. Senators Marco Rubio and Bill Nelson sent a letter to Attorney General Jeff Sessions this week, urging him to work with the island to determine how federal law enforcement can best assist the territory. The letter comes amid reports of increased violent crime in Puerto Rico in the past 4 months following the hurricane, where many businesses remain closed and many still lack power. The letter cites media reports of 46 homicides in the last month alone, which is twice the rate compared to this time last year. An incredible story of survival out of West Palm Beach, Florida. A 23-year-old boater recounts his struggle after spending 16 days stranded in the Caribbean. Vanessa Medina has his amazing story.
How you feeling, man?
A lot better. Feeling a lot better after he was lost at sea for 16 days. Samuel Moss's journey began in Bimini on January 13th.
Like a 4-hour drive.
This is the 23-year-old on Facebook Live. He had just left Bimini, heading home to Nassau, which is about 129 miles. After posting this video, he says the GPS stopped working.
This doesn't look like Paradise Island or Nassau, the Bahamas, I said. So where am I?
He realized he was on Andros Island instead and ran out of fuel.
I measured the distance between where I am and Cuba. It was like 138 miles. I said, now, if I get within 60 miles of Cuban waters, that's it.
So then he thought he'd drift to Exuma, but the wind was taking him in the wrong direction.
I started drifting to Key West, and that's when I realized I still was drifting into Cuba. I used the canvas as a sail, and I used the anchor on the engine as a steer.
Using the anchor to steer him, this went on for 2 weeks. Then the weather changed, and he says what seemed like a 40-foot wave headed his way.
When it hit, I hit hard back on the right-hand side, so the boat just like spin.
Now he was injured. He used his 4 flares to no avail. Then he encountered some sharks.
When I just noticed like the ripples in the water, so I was like, is that shark? So I was like, wow, this can't get any worse.
With no water or food, he said he started praying, asking God for another chance. And then a few days later,
because I noticed all of his crew members and stuff started running over and said, hey, that's a man in the water right there. So he spun around and he started showing me apples and water.
He was rushed to St. Mary's Hospital in West Palm Beach.
I'm really not sure how he survived. When he first came in, his electrolytes were very abnormal. He showed signs of dehydration. He showed that basically his body had gone into what we call starvation mode.
What are you thankful for?
Life. Another shot at life.
Wow. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, the man who sold ammunition to the gunman of the Las Vegas shooting now charged. And a distraught father attempts to attack disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar. Those stories when we come back.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's west coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Monday on ABC7 News at 7.
We had to close our front gate, close our visitor center because the majority of the staff were furloughed during that time with the lapse in appropriations.
We are less than a week away from another possible government shutdown. How would the shutdown affect us here on the Suncoast? I'm Alan Cohn. There is never a shutdown at the trapezoid.
Monday on ABC7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Bob, it was some perfect weather for music on Main and Lakewood Range tonight.
Quite the contrast to January. You know, February can be iffy too, but March is usually the best. We'll see how it turns out. But boy, a big crowd out there tonight. Great music too. Lisa Ridings was fantastic.
Sounded great.
A lot of dancers. Here's what's going on right now as far as the bird. The Oriole bird was out there on hand. And we brought him on live for a little bit. Yes, they're back. Norm Schimmel getting this photo right there. He gets a little exclusivity. Norm! Of what's going on with the Baltimore Orioles. Get a look at these clouds, these street clouds that were developing, these altocumulus clouds out ahead of the actual front. Wendy Harris sending that in. Richard Marr getting a nice sunset tonight. Appreciate that. And Cindy Desmond, always count on her from the celery fields, showing those mid-level clouds really lighten up once the sun set. And the Van Wezel webcam showing a beautiful afternoon. Temperatures warmed above average into the mid-70s up and down the coast. A little bit cooler near the area beaches, but with that east and northeast wind, it keeps things a bit warmer out there. And it looks as though we'll see another warm day tomorrow, despite the fact that this front has moved on through and will continue to do so. Variable clouds on Saturday, that should read. Rain mainly Sunday afternoon, and then mild work week ahead. In fact, temperatures will be a couple degrees above average on Monday all the way through Friday of next week. Well, you can see again, not much going on. When you have the upper level winds flowing with the parallel of the cold front does not get much penetration down south, and so temperatures are not going to cool all that much. And in fact, the area of low pressure that's associated with that front is well to the north, so there's no big push to the south and east. But there'll be a different story on Sunday, and even that front is weak. It's going to be more of a low pressure area that brings us the rain on Sunday afternoon and evening. 62 comfortable out there, the dew point 59. Those two numbers getting close to one another. That can sometimes get fog into the mix. And 77 the high today, well above the average of 72. We'll be closer to that number 72 tomorrow afternoon, as we are anticipating temperatures to warm right around 72, 73 degrees. But fairly quickly, it should be pretty nice. People ask me on social media what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. They're having some plans, and it looks to be okay out there. Not a problem. Should be pretty good fishing, too, before the storm arrives. So get out there and enjoy it. And then here's the change. You can see the GFS showing a lot of rainfall over the southeast. The area of low pressure develops over the northern Gulf of Mexico. So we won't get the heavy rainfall here, but we'll get the tail end of it. And this particular model showing it coming in later in the day on Sunday afternoon. Now, the European shows it a little bit sooner. But showers at first, just some light showers, and then some heavier showers possible later on in the evening. And then after that, temperatures do not cool down all that much. We're not anticipating a very significant cold front. But as far as the rest of the U.S. is concerned, there's some very chilly weather across the northern plain states. In fact, in Minneapolis, it's 10 right now, 20 in Chicago, 13 in Detroit. You factor in the wind, it feels like -1 in Minneapolis, St. Louis, 20 degrees. These are wind chill factors. Cleveland, 5. It's nice to be here outside and enjoying the fine weather like we did this evening at Lakewood Ranch. Highs tomorrow will be 20 in Minneapolis, but there's another cold spell coming their way just in time for the Super Bowl. For boaters tomorrow, we'll start off with 15-knot winds, subside 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. Let's get a look at the 7-day then and show you what's happening. 73 for a high on Saturday. A little warmer Sunday in advance of that storm. We'll get some southeast wind. 70% chance for showers in the afternoon and evening, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, but nothing too rough. And then notice the temperatures. They stay warm right through Friday of next week into the mid-70s, so not bad. Jacqueline?
Okay, we will take it. Thank you so much, Bob. An Arizona man who sold ammunition to the Las Vegas gunman in the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history has now been charged with the unlicensed manufacturing of armor-piercing bullets. This after unfired armor-piercing bullets were found inside the Las Vegas hotel room where the attack was launched on October 1st. Among those bullets, the fingerprints of ammunition dealer Douglas Haig of Arizona. Haig says he noticed nothing suspicious when he sold 720 rounds of ammunition to Stephen Paddock in the weeks prior to the attack that killed 58 people.
Revulsion, sickness, horrified that this man would do something like that. Probably one of the most horrible things I'd ever been told or heard of. I had no contribution to what Paddock did. I had no way to see into his mind. The product that I sold him had absolutely nothing to do with what he did. I'm a vendor, merchant whose name was released.
Las Vegas police would not say whether armor-piercing ammunition was what fired during that attack. The father of 3 daughters abused by convicted serial sexual predator Larry Nassar tried to attack him in a Michigan courtroom today. Take a look.
If you have some words that you would like to say, I would like to give you the opportunity to say them.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon.
I have
Would you do that?
That is not how
Yes or
our...
no?
No, sir, I can't
Would you
do
give me
that.
1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not how our legal system works.
As you can see, Randall Margraves was placed in handcuffs and taken out of the courtroom. Margraves was then brought back in front of the judge a few hours later and apologized for his actions. The judge says he will not be punished. Nassar, a former USA Gymnastics and Michigan State University doctor, is facing sentencing for using his position to sexually abuse patients. Hundreds of women have come forward with details of the abuse. Nassar has already received lengthy sentences in previous trials and will spend the rest of his life in prison. Well, 8 Kemp's Ridley sea turtles are back in the ocean where they belong tonight after being released by Mote Marine Laboratory staff on New Smyrna Beach. They were among 46 cold-stunned turtles rescued off the coast of Massachusetts last month. 2 turtles currently remain in rehabilitation. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
A show tonight, if you're into that sort of thing. Have you ever thought about running a President Viola in 2020? Deep inside, have you ever
No, I like
entertained-
vodka too much.
You like?
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Here's today's Job of the Day. ABC7 is seeking a multimedia journalist who can tell his story on all platforms and meet tight deadlines. Reporting experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/joboftheday to apply. Now, sports.
We are just days away from Super Bowl Sunday with the reigning Super Bowl champs, the New England Patriots, facing off against the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams are already in Minneapolis, and the city has been taken over by football madness. ABC's Maggie Ruley gives us a look at the preparations that are underway.
I'm thinking about the Super Bowl and trying to win the most important game of the year.
We want it for the fans just as bad as they want it. You know, we're all in this together.
The players may be ready for game day, but is Minneapolis, the country's northernmost Super Bowl location, is bracing for more than 1 million visitors leading up to kickoff, and for temps that are 20 degrees below average, dipping down to the single digits even midday.
Hands are cold, your cheeks freeze.
Fans are spending from $3,000 to $22,000 on tickets.
Once in a lifetime, especially the Eagles are here, so have to do it.
Minneapolis Super Bowl planners say this is their chance to show off the city's Minnesota pride. 10,000 tickets for the Bold North zip line already sold out. Kids are testing their football skills at NFL Experience. And local restaurants are churning out Super Bowl feasts, offering late hours, special discounts, and themed parties.
We've been talking about this for over a year with our employees, and I mean, yeah, this is going to be a moment we are going to look back and remember our whole lives.
Super Bowl planners say, on average, each person will spend nearly $2,500 while they're in town. As for the players, well, they just seem excited to be here.
I am feeling the superpowers right now. He said if I told anybody what kind of powers I had, they'd probably disappear.
State planners say they're used to handling this many people. Just last year, the Minnesota State Fair welcomed 2 million people in 12 days. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Well, spring training is just around the corner, and the Baltimore Orioles began moving in this morning to the Ed Smith Stadium complex here in Sarasota. Unloading day is when all the on and off field gear arrives from Baltimore. It includes 24,000 baseballs and 900 bats. Pitchers and catchers report on February 13th, with the first game set for Friday, February 23rd at home versus the Tampa Bay Rays. That's a look at sports tonight. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I knew that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy. I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
R&B fans are bidding goodbye to former Temptations frontman Dennis Edwards. Edwards died Friday in Chicago at the age of 74. His voice ended up defining the legendary group, whose hits include Cloud 9 and Papa Was a Rolling Stone. He became a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer in 1989 when the Temptations were inducted. The band also received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2013. And for once, The Bachelor has delivered on its promise of the most shocking twist in Bachelor history. Last week, a California paper ran a cover story that featured 35 people currently missing in that area. One eagle-eyed reader recognizing one of the missing people as a contestant on the hit ABC show. Her name's Rebecca Martinez. Martinez was reported missing on November 18th by her mother, who had not heard from her in over a week at that point. It turns out she was competing on the show the whole time. The story going viral. Becca even tweeting in response, quote, "Mom, how many times do I have to tell you I don't get cell service on The Bachelor?" I think the moral of this story is if you are going to be on a nationally televised program, you should probably tell your mom.
Yeah, let your mom know. Maybe
Yeah.
they got some strict regulations.
I don't know.
Want to bring Mia on?
Of course.
Mia. How are you, Mia? Good doggy.
So sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend, right? Yeah, she's ready for a walk tomorrow morning and should be good for that. See you later, Mia.
Careful. Thanks for joining us. Have a good weekend.